right. And a good morning to you. It is a Monday morning. Monday morning, beautiful outside. I think it's under 60 degrees. Which is funny because on Saturday we were driving out somewhere and it was 101. So, yeah, that's South Texas weather for you. Good morning. I'm Al Gavada. We are kicking off your work week Monday morning with a discussion on a great article I found on success.com. It's called Five Bold Exercises to Work Your Courage Muscle. Your courage muscle. The author is Debra DiPietro, and it's a couple years old, but it's got some great stuff on there. So let's get to it. It is a great way to start a Monday. Positivity. Here we go. Starts like this. Life decisions all have one thing in common: courage. To try anything new, it takes courage. A new relationship, going back to school, starting a family, changing careers, speaking up at a meeting, starting your own business. She says, when you feel stuck or unhappy, and I'm skipping some stuff, so let me add the article link on the comments there. There you go. I'm skipping a little bit so you can check it out. Let me read it for you. It says, a few months ago, I had a big birthday, one with a zero at the end. On that day, it really dawned on me that I'm not going to live forever. I thought about what really mattered and what I want my life to be about. Then it came to me, courage. Without courage, nothing really matters. Nothing exciting and meaningful happens. And then she says, how many times in your life have you had a great idea but didn't pursue it? Started an exciting project but never completed it? Felt strongly about something but never spoke up about it? Procrastinated or talked yourself out of a dream you had? Met someone special but did not take the time to allow a relationship to blossom? Became overwhelmed with choices in your life and ended up not doing any of them. And she continues, when you feel stuck or unhappy with your present life situation, you might be lacking the courage to change it. On my birthday, I decided that I would make my life about courage and do all I can to live a fearless life and inspire others to do the same. With courage, all things are possible. You become unstoppable. With courage, you are living from your heart and moving forward in a way that is authentic for you. When that happens, everything just works better. You are free. Life becomes a grand adventure of your own design. That's a great way to start an article. Good stuff right there. It says, a courageous life sounds great, doesn't it? But why then aren't more of us living this kind of extraordinary life? Fear. Fear happens when we let our mind rule more than our heart. Fear holds us back. Fear is the inner critic and the ultra-conservative voice in your head that tells you to play it safe. You need security and comfort. Your brain makes you second guess. What if I fail? What if I'm ridiculed? What if? I'm not going to tell you that fear does not exist. Some people might tell you that it's all in your head or that it's not real and it's just something you are imagining. Just be fearless and brave, they might advise. But I believe fear is real. From the time we were born, we are faced with life's uncertainties. Courage does not mean you are fearless. Remember this. Courage does not mean you are fearless. Courage is doing something despite your fear. You've heard that before. I've heard that before. Courage is doing something despite your fear. Like a muscle, it gets stronger. The more you work your courage muscle, the stronger it gets. I personally can attest to that. With practice and consistent effort, you will become more courageous and live a more successful life in the areas that matter to you. Your dreams are waiting for you. The time to begin is now. To get started, here are 5 bold decisions to jumpstart your courage regimen. Here we go. Man, what a setup. Love it. The article, 5 Bold Exercises to Work Your Courage Muscle by Debra DiPietro from success.com. Number 1, set your compass to courage. Ideally, you know what you want and where you wish to end up, right? It's like point A to point B. Even if you're not clear on your destination or your goals change, which happens as you grow, always remember that. You can always move in the direction of courage. Set that compass, chart your course. I like to think of courage as my North Star, she says. Whenever I have to make a decision or choice about something, I close my eyes, imagine the brightest star in the night sky, and aim for that. Even if it means doing something scary or risky, I know that by choosing courage, I'm on the right path. Number two, face your fears. In a notebook or journal, write down a list of fears you have. Perhaps it's public speaking, asking someone on a date, taking that exotic trip abroad, or asking your boss for a raise. How many people have that fear? Write them down. As you write down your fears, notice how you feel. If you are feeling anxiety, good. Now you know what to work on. The more afraid you feel about something, the greater benefit you'll reap by doing it. Wow, okay. So the first one, right? I just want to cover the first two real quick. First one, they go well together. Set your compass to courage. Making that one decision of implementing courage, implementing, taking a step, and it's almost forcing yourself to be different than who you are, because change is uncomfortable. If you've gotten to the point where you are an adult and you have not normally or necessarily taken courageous steps, it's almost like you survived into adulthood, but with a lot of regret, or, I should have, could have, I would have, you know, and you've never taken that courageous step or never implemented courage into your life. Setting your compass to courage is uncomfortable. It's difficult. Making the decision is the first biggest step. You're literally taking a huge giant padlock off something that's keeping you, maybe holding you back, and making that decision to say, you know what, when I make decisions, I'm going to step with courage, and reinforcing that in your head. Like she said, so I like to think of courage as my North Star. Whenever I have to make a decision or choice about something, I close my eyes, imagine the brightest star in the night sky, and aim for that, even if it means doing something scary or risky. I know that by choosing courage, I am on the right path. You will be passed by someone who takes a courageous step, even though you may have a better ability. It's the situation is better for you if you don't take that decision. It's almost like there's one last morsel of food there, and you're starving. Person's already had their fill, but they're going to take it anyway, and you don't take that one step of courage, so to speak, to reach out and grab and take what you need to survive. So many things that you've let pass by not having that step, that taking that step in courage. The second one, face your fears, goes exactly hand in hand with that one, right? Facing that, oh man, what if? What if? And that stopping yourself, that fear, not even fear of something specific, fear of what ifs. And this second one, face your fears, write down a list of the fears you have. As you write down your fears, notice how you feel. If you're feeling anxiety, good. Now you know what you have to work on. Oh man, I'm afraid of doing this. That's what you need to work on. Personal development, becoming a better you. Nobody's trying to change you into something you're not. Unleash the inner you. Who are you within? A lot of times we feel like there's something inside us wanting to come out, and we, for whatever reason, circumstance, or how we were brought up, or setbacks or failures that we felt, keeping that in, and you not taking the courage to get past that, bust out of that, identifying what's holding you back. If you feel anxiety, good, as you write down your fears. Now you know what to work on. What kind of benefit will you reap by working on something you fear? Number 3, do what scares you. Debra DiPietro, in the article 5 Bold Exercises to Work Your Courage Muscle, gives us number 3. It says, do what scares you. No matter how uncomfortable, commit to taking action on the fears you just wrote down. Take an impromptu speaking class, improv. Ask that special person out for dinner with the full knowledge that you may get a no and it's okay. Plan your dream vacation or prepare for a meeting with your boss about your value to the company. And is your value being recognized and rewarded? I added that. Once you begin to face and then do what you are afraid of, your confidence grows exponentially. The more you get into the habit of choosing courage, the more you walk around becoming unstoppable. And it's difficult if you do not have courage within you to think of yourself as unstoppable. But we are all built around a core of strength. Each and every one of us. It's almost like the wire framework of a marionette or whatever. We are built around a core of strength. Are we going to enhance that, strengthen that, reinforce that, and make it stronger and better? Or are we going to dampen it and cover it with our fears and anxieties and, oh my gosh, I'm afraid of what ifs and all this? The more you get into the habit of choosing courage, the more you walk toward becoming unstoppable. That was number 3, do what scares you. Number 4, embrace uncertainty. We tend to be creatures of habit. It's scary to do something new when we don't know what the outcome will be. But that has been the case in every single decision we've made. Even if you think you know what the outcome is going to be, you don't. She continues, I am going to challenge you to lean into and embrace uncertainty. In his book, Courage, The Joy of Living Dangerously, the late spiritual teacher Osho, O-S-H-O, encourages us to look at uncertainty and call it wonder instead. He would advise us to not worry about insecurity, but rather focus on the freedom we will enjoy by taking risks. What a great perspective. Imagine having a life filled with wonder and freedom. Sign me up, she says. The second line in this particular entry is the most powerful line, I feel, in this number 4. It says embrace uncertainty, right? The line is, it's scary to do something new when we don't know what the outcome will be. It was almost like taking our first steps. We didn't know. I mean, I don't know if we had the wherewithal in our thought process at that point to fear, what the outcome would be if we start walking. But as we started picking ourselves up, first, parts of our body, and then picking ourselves up, and then crawling, and then reaching for something and lifting ourselves up and taking the first steps and letting go, we didn't exactly know what was going to happen. And a lot of us fell. Some of us had people there to catch us. Others, they let us fall to learn, right? Careful, But it's scary to do something new when we don't know what the outcome will be. Embracing it, however, like I said, don't worry about insecurity. Rather, focus on the freedom you will enjoy taking risks. Look at uncertainty and call it wonder instead of wonder. Good stuff. Number 5, last one. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. This is very difficult. Absolutely difficult. It's scary to show our vulnerable selves to others. I remember, and I'll share it after I read this. It says this is very difficult. It's scary to show our vulnerable selves to others. We are social creatures. We so want and need to belong, but the mere thought and threat of being judged and rejected sends most of us back to our safe and secure existence. Don't hide and keep yourself from the world. Don't hide and keep yourself from the world. Not only is it tremendously painful and exhausting to not be yourself, but the world also loses out on the special gifts that only you have to offer. Don't be afraid to shine. Someone might need your light. It starts with courage. Excellent article. So what I was going to share is we were having a discussion once, and it was a meeting at our office, and I think there must have been no more than six of us. I don't think. And we're talking about how we feel uncertainty, or how we, it's like, about picking up the phone and making a call, even though you're reaching out to something, to someone with something that could enhance their lives incredibly. And we're talking about our, basically, what we feel our shortcomings are, or what is some of our hindrances are. And I remember saying something to the effect of, I'm very egocentric. I think of myself first. I'm very egocentric. Saying that, being vulnerable to the point where you can actually identify a fault in yourself, and I did consider that a fault. Saying that in front of people, in front of coworkers, let's say, um, relationships that you have, is difficult. But I had already gotten to that point where I could allow myself to be vulnerable. Now, the funny thing about it is, some people laughed. So that is the, I don't know, risk you take when you allow yourself to be vulnerable. The laughter is not necessarily, I felt at that time, is not necessarily ridicule, but more of an uncomfortable reaction to somebody being vulnerable when they themselves cannot allow themselves to be vulnerable. And when they laughed and chuckled, I said, but at least I know who I am. Silence. They stopped laughing because they realized that I was being vulnerable in sharing what I had just shared. And then they respected that. So, the list: 5 bold exercises to work your courage muscle on success.com by Debra DiPietro. Number one, combating fear. No, number one, set your compass to courage, because it's all about combating fear, right? Number one, set your compass to courage. Number two, face your fears. Number three, do what scares you, not the same as face your fears. Number four, embrace uncertainty. And number five, allow yourself to be vulnerable. Excellent article. If you tuned in late to the video, check it out when it posts. The replay will be available. And, just shared some thoughts on this. And I really enjoyed this article. The last line: don't be afraid to shine. Someone might need your light. It starts with courage. I honestly believe everybody hears different voices that can impact them positively. Who you feel is beneficial to you by what they say or how they say it may not be the same person that touches me, that reaches into me and grabs my heart. Person that I feel that way to about may not be that same to you. Have you ever considered that you are one of those people to somebody out there? By facing your fear, by showing more of who you actually are, living the life you're meant to live, and becoming the person you are meant to become. By doing that, by example, you will reach people. People that you know, people that you don't know, people that you'll meet, people that you'll never meet. But you are changing lives by being the most authentic you can be, and being the better or best version of you can be. Take some steps today. Read this article. It's great. Listen to the video again. Not as great as the article, but we discussed the article, right? Be the best version of yourself possible. I hope to be back on Wednesday, and I hope you found some value in this. And if you did, share this. Share the video. Subscribe to my YouTube page. Let's get the word out. Let more people listen to positive content to benefit their lives. And I hope to be back on Wednesday, and then again on Friday at 8 a.m. I do it here. I thank you. And I wish you success. Wish you success today. Wish you success in your life and what you choose to do. hopefully to impact the world in a positive way. Knowledge is power. Imagination is king, and intelligence your weapon. Read a good book today, enrich your mind, and above everything, take action. Take action. Have a wonderful Monday and Tuesday. I hope to be back on Wednesday at 8 a.m. And I'll see you here. Until next time, we'll be talking.